Okay. So, one thing I want to bring up is that a lot of stuff. Okay. One thing that I really started to implement more in with myself, let alone in seeing what people were like, because realize there is a bunch of manipulation out there. Now, what I mean by that is that people will do things to get what they want. That's not always the case. It's not always like, not everybody is always out to get something. There are some people that genuinely care, and there are some people that are very manipulative and controlling and trying to get what they want. It's all about learning to navigate which people are that way and which people aren't, because it is hard to tell sometimes, because there are some people that are very actually just overt in their manipulation, where you can just tell that they're trying to be manipulative in what they say and what they do. And then there are some people that you can't tell at all, and it's very, very subtle, and it's very tiny how they show it. So something that I like to keep in mind is that words without action are manipulation. Action without consistency is manipulation. And consistency without change is manipulation. All of this sounds very severe. It sounds kind of like, ooh, doom and gloom and everything, but I say it in the context of the fact that there are some people that will give you a little bit to try and appease you, and then go back to who they truly were in the beginning. So, what I mean by that is that people can say, oh, I'm going to change. Oh, I'm going to do better. Oh, they can sit there and tell you that they're going to do, that they're going to do, that they're going to do. And they're going to sit there and say, oh, well, I'm going to be better at this. I'm going to stop doing this. False promises sometimes. Sometimes people will start making the changes, and then once, things die down, they go back to doing the old self things. Let's see. I'm not going to use my example just yet. Let me finish up the other one. Now, the next one is actions. Sometimes people will use the words and they will add the actions in there. Like, they will be like, okay, I'm going to change, and then they will start to change. They will put in some kind of effort. They will give a little bit. They will appease you for a little bit. And then whenever they think that you are okay with it, that you're fine, you're okay, they'll go right back to where they started from. And it'll be a pattern that will continuously repeat. Now, the next one is consistency. So, the actions without consistency, they have to be consistent in those actions. They have to be it has to go longer than 3 months. It has to go longer than a set period of time for you. Varies on whatever you choose. I mean, it could be anything. But they have to show you with their actions, and those actions being consistent, lasting longer than a certain period of time, for it to actually be consistency with change. So any consistency, like say they are consistently doing this pattern over and over again, and they are not changing, then that's manipulation. Because what they're doing is they're keeping you appeased by acting like they're going to do something. They're acting like they're acting like they are becoming a better person, when in turn all they're trying to do is make you think a certain thing and get them off their back. Once you're not mad anymore, or once you're not feeling a certain way anymore, then they revert back to their old self, and then the pattern continues, and it is a consistent cycle. So what I mean by that is that I learned this one the hard way I've had a few people in my life like this. I've had a few situations of this happen, but the biggest one for me was my ex-husband. Now, he was really good at saying, oh, I'm going to change, I'm going to stop drinking, I'm going to be a better husband, I'm going to be a better father, I'm going to do all of this stuff. He was really good at saying it. And then he would back it with a few actions. He would, change, he would do better things, he would be better, and all of that. He would last for, depends on a certain amount of time, like it varies. But he would last for a little while, and then once that blew over, once it went away, once the anger, once you forgot, whatever it may be, once he passed going through treatment, and he wasn't going to get federal charges, once all of that passed, then he went right back to where he started from. He started drinking again, and he started being controlling, and he started to be abusive, and all that stuff. So it was a constant cycle that the consistency did not change. So why I bring this up is because there will always be at least someone out there that is trying to manipulate you in some way. And I'm not saying that, some people, I feel like people know that they are being manipulative, and I think some people have learned techniques that they don't realize are a manipulation until it's brought to light, and then they understand that this is a learned behavior, and they go to try and change it. Something that I myself was not aware of for a very long time, that me playing the nice person, me trying to be the nice girl, was a manipulation tactic in itself, because I was trying to keep things peaceful so that I would feel safe, even though it was me just trying to manipulate somebody else's feelings so that I would feel better. It's still a manipulation tactic, but I was not fully aware of it until it was brought to my attention about it, and then I had to really do some inside digging, and I really had to look at myself and be like, why do I play nice? Why do I be the nice person? Why am I trying to, make others feel good while sacrificing myself? Why am I doing these things? Well, because of many things. I was trained to be that way. I grew up thinking that I had to be that way, so that because of the family dynamic that I was in, so that it wouldn't cause confrontation and chaos. I didn't want to be yelled at, so I would go above and beyond to make the female figure that I saw in an authority figure happy, so that it wouldn't create confrontation and I would not get yelled at. various different things. But in playing the nice girl, in being the nice girl, I sacrificed myself, my wants, my needs, and all of that stuff for somebody else's happiness, which built a resentment within myself because I was overgiving of myself, my time, my money, whatever it may be. I was giving way too much to others and not having enough for myself, not giving to myself, which also comes into play whenever it comes to money as well, because if you are someone that gives to other people, like you're constantly buying things for others or paying for things for other people, but you have a hard time just even buying things for yourself, or even in turn you have a hard time putting money away in your savings account for yourself, that plays a big role in the dynamic that you have with money and yourself and your self-worth and all of that. So this is one of those things that learning that words can only get so far. Nowadays, I don't really listen. I listen to other people's words, but I don't really pay attention to them. I pay more attention to actions and consistency. If people cannot match their actions with consistency, then they are not actually stable and they are not actually safe. They are not someone that is healthy for me to be in any kind of relationship with, whether it be a friendship or dating. So I wanted to share that with you guys because of the fact that this helps a lot with understanding the types of people to keep in your life. This goes with the whole trust and relationships and what kind of people that you can let go of and what kind of people you can keep in your life and to look out for, as well as what you can implement in your own life as well, what you can implement yourself. Because if you're seeing this in other people, is it possible that you yourself are not doing this as well? Like, are you not following through with your words? Are you saying, hey, I'm going to show up to this event, and then you back out? Or maybe you are saying, hey, I'm going to work out every single Saturday, and you're not actually following through with that action, saying, hey, we're gonna, clean the apartment every single Sunday, and, letting it kind of slide and, fluctuating. Are you not being consistent with that? So it's one of those things that learning to be consistent with what you do and what you say. Same thing goes with, being able to be successful in life. If you are going to get up there with the higher level, with the wealthy people, consistency really matters. Being consistent and taking action and being solid with your words are super important. Those three things are absolutely key in being successful. Just things that you need to really analyze with yourself and with others when you're on this journey of finding yourself and healing yourself, and also, trying to become successful and all of that fun stuff. So, start working on it. I know I am. I'm still working on it. There are still some things that I'm good at, and there are some things that I'm not good at. You have to you have to use it in all areas of your life. It can't just be, with work. It's got to be with health, with work, with your sleep, with your, your money, with, your kids, or with your, everything, really. It's got to be consistent. You got to build up that consistency, which will in turn, create discipline, but you gotta keep working on it. It's like learning a new skill. You're not gonna get good at it unless you keep trying. If you just try and then give up, it's not gonna work. But you have to keep trying. You have to consistently keep getting up and keep trying. So, I love you all. Have a great day. Bye.